Okay, I guess continuing the red pill, blue pill kind of girl, boy kind of video things. Since people wanted to know crazy girl stories, I guess. Again, I'm gonna be kind of vague, I suppose, but continuing on. And I've said this before, anything that happens to me, the common denominator is me, okay? So nothing like this, none of these stories are to say that I'm cool. I've as many cool things that have happened to me, as many sort of, I guess if you would call them high on the totem pole girls, whatever, that have like spilled their spaghetti in front of me. I've been turned down by multiple quotation mark normal girls. You know what I mean? So nothing like this is that I'm cool at all. Which also gets into, and I've said this before, one of my biggest things that I think, if you're actually going to like think about using words that they use like in game and everything like that, like I do think social proof is a real thing. And I said one of my biggest problems, if we're to go thinking about those kind of ideas, is I have very disingenuous social proof because of how I look, or people perceive me to how I look, because of all the weird things that happen to me, good and bad, I guess. You know what I mean? It makes me look weird. Like I even had again, I know people much more higher up than I am, right? I always kind of say like this. I'm kind of like a somewhat known nobody. You know what I mean? I mean, my pictures have been stolen so much, I get banned from sites because they think I'm stealing celebrities' pictures, right? They don't think it's me, but so I'm sort of like a somewhat known nobody. And I've even talked to people before. And speaking of social proof, you want to know how much social proof matters? I was talking to this girl, and I guess I'm gonna be vague, right? But she's gone out with some people that have been in movies. You know what I mean? And even she's been like, she's like, she told me something. She's like, Clayton, your main problem is that you kind of look like you should be famous, but you're not famous. And it looks really weird when you look on your thing like Instagram and all these other kind of things like Snapchat, and you're actually not that important. And it makes you look really weird because it looks like you should be. And it makes you look really weird, right? So that just goes to show you, you know what I mean? Social proof is a big thing, right? And I could, so many things of like, just social proof really matters, right? And I know I should really use my Instagram and Snapchat better, but it's just not really me, right? But again, so if anything, for me, a lot of my stories are, it's almost kind of like a, I would say it's kind of like a double whammy to technically have a job as a model but not be anyone famous, because it kind of makes it look like, well, why aren't you famous? There must be something like wrong with you, right? You know what I mean? So weird girl stories. I'll say this, again, maybe because there's a lot of like nerds, and I'm not using that as a, watching my channel. I'm not saying nerd in a bad way because I'm a nerd, right? I guess if you ever watch like pick up stuff and like game stuff, yeah, of course. So I've had sex with girls, the first time meeting them, kissed, sex, whatever the fuck it is, right? So I mean, I guess if you watch videos and people think, oh, that doesn't really happen, like people can't go up to someone and, you know, I don't know. Again, I feel like you must really be sheltered if you think that doesn't happen. I guess that, that's pretty normal. If anything, a lot of times when I watch like game stuff, which is rarely, sometimes you watch guys, and again, I suck. I've been turned down by so many normal girls. Don't, this isn't that I'm good at all, right? But a lot of times, half the battle is just having the courage to like go up to someone and talk to them, right? Because I've watched a lot of people, that do game, and sometimes, I mean, if we're gonna call it game, the game is not very good in my opinion that they go with, right? I mean, so I don't know. I'm not sure what standards people are going off of. I'm not very good myself, but I can be sort of charming. Like I have like the fake charm that when I don't care, I really don't care. So I can be pretty freaking charming then. You know what I mean? I've had people actually tell me I'm too perfect, and it's like bad in a way. You know what I mean? But which is another thing. If you ever watch people talk about game, there's like a leveling thing. Like some girls do not want to be with someone if they think that that person is actually cooler than them, because it makes them insecure. Because let's talk about some weird insecure times that girls have done with me. I've actually had multiple girls actually really weird, kind of like throw up while talking to them. Really fucking weird. I've had some girls that like I've started talking to them and they've gotten so nervous they had to go to the bathroom and they had to come back and they told me they fucking threw up because they started getting nervous. Like that's really fucking weird. Like you guys wanted weird stories, right? So I'm gonna tell you some fucking weird stories, right? I know, God, and I'll try to be vague just in case any of these girls I'm still friends with on Facebook, and if they ever by chance were to watch my videos, I've definitely had girls like, they're like a girl, like the girl of the girlfriend might be like, Clayton, whenever she hangs out with you, she always has to go to the bathroom and throw up because she always gets really nervous, just unbelievable because I'm a nobody, right? But I'll say one story. So I was, this girl asked me to meet. I'm afraid she's gonna watch my YouTube. I don't think she does, but so I had to meet this one girl. And she wanted to meet at the bar before I went to hang out, right? Because she wanted to get a drink, right? And so she got a drink. We met at the bar, and then we started like hanging out and walking around, whatever. And while we were talking, she told me something like, she's like, Clayton, she's like, well, I had to get that drink in me before because every time I think about hanging out with you, I start to get really nervous. So I have to be drunk to be around you, or else I get really nervous. And I was like, oh, so, and I made a joke. I said something like, oh, so I guess this is my chance to actually finally take advantage of you now that you're drunk, right? And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, so maybe I should actually just like kiss you right now or something, right? And she's like, and she's like wearing these like super high heels, right? And she like, and she like fucking collapsed on the ground. She started like, some like, dude, are you okay? Like, what the fuck, dude, right? And she's like, she's like, I gotta go. And she like went to the bathroom. She like ran to the bathroom and I was like, so like followed her in, like, okay, that was really fucking weird. I was like, that didn't go well, right? And she's like, oh, okay, I had to throw up because it made me really nervous when you said that, but let's keep hanging out. I was like, okay, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, stuff like that has happened multiple times, actually. That's really fucking weird, right? I've had girls that almost started like crying when I was talking to them. They couldn't believe I was like talking to them. And again, I've had such extreme reactions that, again, that goes to disingenuous social proof, right? Because, and then they probably find out I'm a nobody, and they're like, oh fuck. It's one of those things you always like. Sometimes I go, I'm like, why does everyone know Clayton? Why does Clayton get like stopped randomly? And then they look Clayton up like, wait, but Clayton isn't famous, so there must be something like weird about him. You know what I mean? But so that's, yeah, I've literally had girls start to like almost get like tears in their eyes, dude, while talking to me. Like they just didn't think I would actually talk to them. Which again, they probably thought I was much more famous or actually somebody when I was talking to them. Maybe just really into the blonde hair thing, I guess. I don't know. God, what's up? What are some like what? There's just so many fucking stories. Where I mean, I've had my autograph asked for before multiple times. I know I have a video of this. I could probably show it. It wasn't like any like young hot girls or anything, but one time I was at the mall. This was it was the Pokemon Go year, and the mall was being robbed, and all these people were running around chaotically, right? And this grandma came up. Well, I don't know about a grandma. She was older, pretty much a grandma. She came over. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, can I get your autograph too? And she snuck over to me, and I'm like, dude, what? And she's like, well, yeah, that's why there's so many people around you. This big commotion. I'm like, actually, the mall's being like just got robbed, and like that's why all the cops are coming, right? And she's like, oh, the mall got robbed. She's like, oh, I don't know, whatever. But that was kind of fun. I got a video of that. There's actually like cops came out with like rifles and everything like that, and we got locked down at the mall, which really fucking sucked. But that was a weird storm. God, I don't know what I've had girls come up to me and they started like singing and stuff. They had like almost like a singing telegram, and singing is always fucking weird because I almost feel like almost every girl feels like they're an amazing singer, and most of the time you're girls and they're not that amazing of a singer. And it's like, dude, I'm a bad liar, dude. I mean, I have heard a few girls that are actually good singers, though. I mean, if you're a girl and you're ever watching this and I actually told you you were good, I probably meant it. Um, because I know I'm a bad liar, but a lot of girls, I feel like they think I had a, that is so weird, dude. I've literally had girls come up to me and just start singing to me. That's kind of weird, right? Okay, kind of weird. But I mean, It's like it happened. I mean, what are you gonna say, right? God, I had I've had girls ask me to take their virginity before. That's probably a little strange to think when you're a kid growing up and you weren't very popular, that girls would ever ask you to do that. I had two girls came up to me, two lesbian girls, and asked me to. They wanted me to both be their first time, actually. So like a threesome. They're both virgins or whatever. That happened. Two girls came up to me. Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? Uh, God, what's a weird compliment I've gotten? I know I had a pretty funny compliment last year. Someone told me it looked like I had the blood of Jesus on me. I was so good looking. I thought that's a kind of an original compliment. That's a pretty good one, dude. I was like the blood of Jesus. Like, damn, that's a pretty good one, dude. That's pretty good. Um, I've had moms that have wanted me to get with their daughters, and then the mom tried to get with me. I found out that the mom wanted me too. Not really my thing, but that kind of stuff happens. See, I got to be vague because I don't want to talk about too much stuff. And again, none of this is like I'm cool, but what are other weird stories? God, there's just so many. So there was a. Let's talk about some those stories kind of make me sound cool. Let's talk about a lot of these stories should like make you feel like why I'm so cynical and red pill there. Like I said, I always say only take half the red pill. Don't become as cynical as me. Um, because again, when I've, geez, I've told these stories before. Like one of the guys that asked me to make this video, he was like, "Oh yeah, I want to hear about all these amazing stories that happened to you because I want to see what it's like to win the genetic lottery." And it's like, dude, if you just watched my video, you would have, if you actually listened to it, I think you only heard the parts that you wanted to hear. If you actually were listening to it, I grew up very unpopular. I grew up girls telling me I was ugly. I remember two of the girls, I think it was the last day of seventh grade. Two girls came up to me. One of the girls' name was Shannon, actually. I feel like I could throw this girl under the bus because fuck her for doing that, right? I don't remember what the other girl's name was, but they were both good looking girls, right? I remember they came up to me the last day of school and they just told me they wanted to tell me how ugly they always thought I was. And it's just, ugh. And then I remember years later, I saw those girls after I had become more popular. And yeah, they wanted to be my friend. Maybe a little bit more too. Pretty disgusting, honestly. But that kind of stuff will make you not respect people for sure. Um, what are weird girls? I've had girls, that basically, they want me to fuck them in front of their boyfriends almost. Pretty much. Girls ask, oh man, I really need a back crack, dude. Girls want to, I've told this story before, but, kind of vague, but, they're talking to the boyfriend on the phone. They want me to fuck them while they're talking to the boyfriend on the phone, I guess, that kind of thing. One girl's just like, I just feel so safe with Clayton, and Jesus Christ. I remember sometimes these girls, like, they introduce me to their boyfriend literally right before, then they try to get with me, and it's like, man, dude, I don't know, that will make you lose respect for people. But I mean, it's just one, like I said, I'm so cynical about boy and girl relationships when you see how people actually like treat each other, dude. You know what I mean? Jeez, man. God, so many. I remember, oh God, I remember. I've had a couple of times where I literally think the girl basically like fucking oceaned herself like right in front of me just when we started talking. Like she was just, I mean, of course they're probably a little fucked up. Maybe they're a little bit drunk well, one girl was definitely a little bit drunk. But I mean, dude, sometimes it's crazy, dude. When you think about like when someone thinks and again, I've talked about this before, like the convenience of perspective, right? Like at 1 minute, I've had so many times that girls love me 1 minute, next minute they hate me, the next minute they love me again, right? The convenience of perspective, and you see that people don't really care about each other. Most people don't really care about each other. They only care about each other in the moment. So maybe they see you and you're the really cool guy. And I've told this too before about the fake social proof. A lot of times, like say, people think I'm really cool at one moment because they see me when I'm out, and a lot of people know me. But then when they see me on social media, I'm not very cool. I play video games randomly. What's the most interesting thing that happened to me this year? uh, People got so butthurt about me in video games again, they made up lies about me, right? Just like when I was a kid. They're like, wow, Clayton was so cool at this party. All these girls want him. Girls want to fucking suck him off. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So girls have definitely come up to me, asked me to suck me off, all that kind of stuff, right? Like almost instantly. But and then then they'll say on social media, I'm like, man, Clayton's not that interesting. He's like a nobody. We don't like him anymore. Then the next month they see him in person. Oh fuck, you are popular. What is this? I'm confused, right? You're just like two different. I mean, yeah, definitely had girls tell me that before. Like, they're like, I don't get it. It's like weird. Like, we meet you in real life and you're like this one way, but then we see you on the internet and you're like a totally different person. But then we saw you again in real life and it's like, you're awesome. I don't get it. Yeah. And it's like, dude, I am that Clayton on the internet. You just chose to believe one over the other, right? This is me, right? Um, what am I thinking of? God, oh yeah. So the girls are saying, man, I've had girls, man, dude, Jesus Christ, it's so crazy when you grow up a nerd and you don't understand like how powerful you can become in one moment. And like you see girls, and you remember all these girls that used to hate you. And I've had girls that, oh my God, literally not even saying anything that cool, dude. You just talk to them a little bit, maybe give them a look, and they see that other people like you. And literally, it's like they just fucking ocean themselves in front of you, or whatever slang term you want. They're just totally fucking wet and ready, dude. Dude, like some girls, like they're literally fucking putty in your hands, dude, and you haven't even done anything, dude. And of course, sometimes it gets too extreme though. Like, okay, so like sometimes the girls, like I was saying, some girls have like literally gone so fucking goo goo and gaga. Literally, I probably almost could fuck them right in front of other people, and just like that, they're just so fucking intoxicated about the fake version of me that it's not real. But sometimes it goes too far, and you see. This is why this whole fucking video seems like a look at me. It's just so fucking stupid. Because again, I can tell you, I've been turned down by so many fucking. I've been turned down by girls that guys have made fun of me for even thinking are good looking. Okay, you know what I mean. So I'm definitely not. I'm definitely pretty beta myself, but yeah, but sometimes it goes too far. Like you definitely have times with girls where like the girls they will just go too on and on. Like they think you're so cool, you can't even do something with them. So it's not even something like, oh, why do you like these other girls? Why would you like me? And it's like, well, you try to like play it off. Well, okay, like, well, let's make them jealous. You know what I mean? You're special. Let's make them jealous. Whatever. Say it in a sexy way, right? But then they're just so fucking in their head, and they can't even fucking do anything, and they just like lay there, stand there, and you're just like they become so fucking frozen, it's fucking weird, and it feels like you're doing something to them, and it's weird, and it's like, okay, this isn't even fun. Like, what is going on, dude? You're like so nervous, like I'm a nobody. It's just like sometimes it's, yeah, shit like that can happen. Again, some, it just depends on their fuck whatever perspective is convenient for them, the convenience of their perspective at the time. God, what's another weird story? I've had and a lot of times, yeah, I do have girls too. One thing that happens, like when I've said this before, being popular, quotation marks, is not much different than being unpopular. One of the differences is my difference is that like people still hate you for no reason, but people will actually like you for no reason too. So it's like at least you get a little bit of a good thing, but you get the bad things too. Like I've said this before, I have definitely had girls come up to me and not just fucking neg me, talk shit to me, like just trying to ruin my day. Not even just like negging me, talk shit to me and be like complete fucking cunts. And I've had them do that in front of other people too. Like I know a lot of times people hear these weird stories and like, oh, that would never happen. And then they actually maybe have hung out with me and they've actually seen it happen in real life. Yeah, just really fucking weird. Not just like that's one of the weird things too. When you see like a lot of like pickup things, and again, I'm not saying I'm as good as any pickup guy that you see on the internet. Sometimes you see some of these dudes and they try to say that most girls are just nice, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you just like talk to them, whatever. And it's very, very rare that you'll like meet someone that will be bad. or something. And dude, no, I've actually had many girls be complete dicks after coming back up to me like, oh, like you think I would just like not even negging, just like complete fucking cunts. Like just like why would I ever just God, you know what I mean? Like just go fucking ape shit on you for talking to them. Like again, I all the common denominator is me always. So the problem always is me, no matter what. Um, I know I've had before. I said this before. I used to say this line of like, how charming do I have to be to get into the friend zone? And I eventually got to this level where I couldn't even say that, I guess, because girls were actually like flipping out on me for saying that to them. They're like, "Oh, well, you think you're too good for me? Blah blah blah." Jeez, man. Oof. Um, what's a weird story? Oh yeah, when you turn down girls, I've definitely had girls then try to say I was trying to get with them, and they'll make up lies about you. Like, dude, oh my God, like, it's so crazy. Again, you think about that, and this is why I'm so fucking cynical because I grew up a nerd, right? And then you actually have these situations happen. Like, how weird is it that I actually sometimes have to remind myself, I have to warn myself, if a girl is going to send me a naked picture, even if she's ugly and I turn her down, I probably should save it because if I turn her down, there's a chance she might try to say that I was trying to get with her. I've had to do that. I've had to show people text messages of girls messaging me that I turned down because after I turned them down, they tried to say that I was trying to get with them, which is one of the dangerous things about Snapchat too, because like Snapchat, you can like lose conversations now, right? So it's like if you turn down a girl, it's like fuck, I should have been saving this conversation because she might go back and try to say that I was trying to fuck her, dude. Right? You know what I mean? God, I remember a fucking girl was a fucking girl last year. She tried to say me some bullshit that I tried to get with her. I heard this from other people, and I'm like, what? Who's this girl? I'm like, dude, I don't even think I've ever talked to this girl. I might have said like hi to her like when we're at like a gathering and there's like multiple people or something. It was just, and she like made up some story that I had been trying to get with her this whole time. And it's just like, here's a weird story. I mean, I was with a girl one time before, and I turned her down. I probably should have fucked her because I mean she was good looking. I mean, how about this? It was my fault that I turned her down. It wasn't really her fault. I mean, you could say it was her fault. I just wasn't horny enough for her at the time. But how about this? The nice way to say this is she was not so unattractive to me that I would never have sex with her, right? I just turned her down because I turned her down, right? Well, anyway, being vague. So eventually, God, I had seen her again, and she's like, "Oh yeah, do you want to hang out? Come over." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, we can hang out." And I wasn't even thinking about it sexually. Actually, I just thought we were just because we had talked and been friends before. And I came over, and when I came over, she was having sex with another guy, and I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" Right? And she's like, "Oh no, Clayton, stay, stay, it's okay." And I'm like, "What?" And so they went on a smoke break. I don't smoke, but they went on a smoke break, right? And it was funny because so I'm there with her and the guy, and I'm like, this is really fucking weird, right? And the guy was like, oh yeah, I heard about you, dude. And he's like, and I won. And I looked around and I was like, oh my God, this dude doesn't fucking know, dude. This dude doesn't fucking know that I had been turning down this girl. And she, out of insecurity, I guess, I don't know, probably right, tried to like show me up. Like, I'm going to have sex in front of Clayton because he turned me down. And I'm going to tell this guy that I was turning Clayton down. And then Clayton's going to walk in on me and his world's going to be ruined. And I remember that guy, and that guy tried to tell me, he's like, oh yeah, I heard about you. So I don't know who the guy was. So if he heard about me, obviously, right? And he's like, yeah, I heard about you, and I won. And I remember those words, I won. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck do I say? Like, do I tell him in front of this girl, like, dude, I don't know what she told you, but I'm the one that turned her down, dude. I was like, oh my God, dude. That's kind of a funny story, though, right? Because that wasn't too big of a deal. Although maybe she made up lies about me to other people, which would have sucked, right? I don't know if she did. But I mean, yeah, that kind of stuff happens, right? So, I mean, other times when girls do that kind of shit, that's fucked up, right? I mean, I've definitely had a lot, I've had so many girls that have made up so many fucking bullshit lies about me, right? But you know what I mean? So that shit kind of fucking sucks, right? But what are you gonna do? That's life, right? So, I mean, God, I don't know what kind of stories you guys really wanted. I mean, again, God, I've said before, I'm being vague. I've technically had girls that have been in, Hollywood, whatever the fuck, spill their spaghetti in front of me. They thought I was much cooler than I was, excuse me. Oh, I mean, jeez, I've had girls, God fucking girls. Well, I must have one girl on Instagram. God, she's fucking, not too long ago, man, she's like sending me pictures of her because she knows I like lips, like sucking shit off, right? It's like, I can't wait to suck you off, whatever, right? I don't know. Good looking girl, right? But I don't know if I really want it, right? But I mean, God, she's traveling all over the world, right? I mean, just kind of like, and you think about those kind of things, like, man, these girls, they have bajillions of followers and whatever, and how many crazy stories I have with girls in real life that are much cooler than me. And then, like I said, I have tons of girls that won't even give me the fucking time of day. Normal girls, right? They will make up whatever is convenient to think that you're a bad dude, whatever. Bad Dudes. Wasn't that a video game? Was that a video game? Bad Dudes? Bad Dudes, whatever. God. God, here's a story. I don't know why you fucking write it. Because it just happened. Shit. I think it's too early to tell this story because this just happened a week ago. This story's too early. I was gonna say, like, I actually have a pretty crazy girl story to tell. But this story happened just recently. I don't think I can tell it. I should let it die down. I should let this story die down. I know these stories are vague, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know kind of my story, my advice to people goes like social proof is very important. What are things? Do lines? I do believe if people are gonna ask like how does being in shape change? You know what I mean? Does being in shape change with girls? I mean, it does in a sense. Like if it's like a party kind of good atmosphere, people just want to get fucked. I definitely have girls come up to me, they're like, "Oh, can I touch your abs, your chest, whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude." Um, so I guess that kind of stuff matters. But then there's always going to be girls that think you're a huge douchebag once you're in good shape. Do fragrances matter? Fragrances, very rarely, pretty rarely, I do have girls come up to me and break the ice with, "Oh, you smell so good." I mean, I have had girls come and say, "I want to suck you off. You smell good," or "You smell so good. I want to get on my knees." I don't remember what that one girl said recently. I forget. I've told that story before. I mean, our girls say something like that. Girls, very randomly, fragrances stop me about fragrances, like because it's an icebreaker, but not a lot. Again, a lot of stuff I like social proof. I said social proof matters. Do I think? Oh God, like I'm trying to say like what kind of thing lines are good or talk. I think a lot of things when you get older, because you're so. God, I don't think there's much. I'm just trying to think of like other concepts I can comment on. When you get younger, when you're younger, you think a lot of stuff in pornos doesn't happen in real life or movies. But in my experience, yeah, dude, that's the best kind of thing. Like people think that movie lines are cheesy. Movie lines are cheesy if the perspective is not convenient at the time. If the girl thinks you're cool, fucking say something weird that you would hear in an anime or a TV show or a movie, and it's good because it sounds like you had. Because if she thinks you're cool, then you have the confidence. Then it's like you have the confidence to say something like that, right? And if she doesn't think you're cool, then you just look weird for saying something like that, right? So again, it's really convenience of perspective, like I always say about most things in life, right? I've definitely said, what is a line I said before? God, it sounds like you're really fucking full of yourself. If you know the girl likes you, it's like you're. Say something like, tell me what you imagine me doing to you, or you could just say whatever the fuck you want, right? I mean, if the girl likes you, say something crazy, and the crazy is good. If she doesn't like you, the crazy is bad. Simple. Um, Other perspectives, I don't think, again, confidence is good. I don't think there's much difference between being a fuck boy and being someone who's confident, because most people don't care about each other anyway. I actually think a lot of girls will lose respect for you if you don't flirt with them immediately. Sounds kind of bad, but it's kind of true, I think. If you're not at least a little kind of flirty and playful. Then again, I've also had times before where I've had girls tell me that you're just too perfect, and I don't believe it. There's got to be something wrong. Or everything is too perfect about you, whatever, right? So again, there's like a leveling thing, right? If they think you're too high of a level, and then it's almost kind of like, they think you're too so high of a level, and then they see you in a different aspect. It's like, I can't understand what's going on. It's like brain fucking me, so it's not good, because people don't like to be wrong, right? God, I don't know what to tell. Again, again, the other thing I would say with these videos is just, this is so boring. I don't know why that people really want this video. Um, I would say again, just only take half the red pill, dude, because if you take, life fed me too many red pills. When I saw how many times that people don't really care about each other growing up a nerd, and then being on so many different sides of the social spectrum, girls telling you they love you one minute, they hate you the next, and they love you again, and everything just is, ugh, no one really cares about each other. You see, everyone will just cheat on anyone. It doesn't matter. Most relationships are just out of convenience. Whatever they think is better coming along is better. I just got fed so many fucking rough, and then getting sick. You know what I mean? God, it just ruined my perspective on life. Like, I think, ugh, so don't overdose on the red pill as me. Hopefully, you never have as many bad experiences as me, because it's just gonna ruin it. Hopefully, you only have to take half the red pill, because then you're still motivated. Because then you realize nothing matters, but in a good way, in a glass is half full kind of way, and not a glass is half empty kind of way. Um, just it's kind of weird too. I mean, I would say, geez, and it's almost kind of like, I think if you have a chance to have sex with someone, just have sex with them immediately, almost as fast as you can, because the longer you wait, the worse. I think usually, generally speaking, because again, most people don't actually care about each other, so you may as well. And that sounds kind of bad, because it sounds like you're really objectifying people, but people want to have sex, whatever the case, right? So, um, God, I mean, and that's one of the hardest things, because again, when there's like an idea that, and it's a very fine line, right? There's this very fine line of, sometimes it's good to not say something out loud, because then it gives the other person anticipation for something, right? But at the same time, saying something out loud also can make it more hot and get you ready, right? So there's also a very fine line. I know there's some kind of perspectives of, you should, like, when you're like gonna have sex, or whatever, you're kind of just flirting, and there's that very fine line. And some people say you shouldn't say anything. Some people say you should start to say. I don't know. This video is just, I don't know how to make this kind of video right. Um, Again, it's weird, because it's like, there's this idea in society too that you shouldn't just go up and try to have sex with people, but at the same time, you kind of have to, in a way, sometimes, because it's like, again, if you're not flirting with a girl and trying to have sex with her almost immediately, they kind of lose respect for you, and it can make it harder, actually. Again, I think one of the best things, and I think one of the main turn-ons for girls, is actually the spontaneous and movie moment, having a secret with another person. So it's always good to do that. You know what I mean? Fake it until you make it, then, because imagining that they're with someone that maybe is cooler than they are is, it's kind of, having a secret is good. Feeling like they have a secret, that's why cheating is such a turn on for people, I think. Because it's spontaneous. Well, usually, I guess, if it's cheating, right? It feels like you have a secret. Secrets are fun. It makes it more exciting. Blah 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 blah. I don't know, dude. This video is way too long, dude. I don't know. But you know what? It's keeping my YouTube active, right? So